Okay, so today our topic is going to be security scams, fraud, and safety tips. All right, I'm Kristine Kioltyka. I'm with Lenox Police Department. I think some of you are familiar with me. I see a lot of familiar faces in here. So we're going to get started. So just a little bit about me. I always like to do a little introduction. I started policing in September of 2016 with Lenox Police Department. I was there for 2.5 years, and then I transferred over to New Lenox. I've been with New Lenox now for approximately 5 years. And 1 year into New Lenox, that's when I realized I would love to be like a school resource officer and also do community policing. So I've been now doing that for about 5 years, 6 years. I attended CELIA, that's a police academy in the College of DuPage. It was a great program, really enjoyed it. And I started again in 2019 with New Lenox. So what I'm in charge of, or what specialties that I have, I'm a patrol officer, school resource officer, community policing officer, CIT trained. So if someone's having a crisis, then I intervene on that. Car seat technician, juvenile officer specialist, and senior services officer. So that's a little bit about me. Okay, so first and foremost, I like to start off with talking about the safety aspect. All right, so safety is the feeling of being protected from the factors that cause harm. Those who control the risk factors tend to feel more safe. So methods do not need to be complex or complicated. They are most effective when they're simple, right? Don't you guys agree with that? If it's simple, keep it simple. Let's not work harder, let's be smarter. So simple means that they are easy to remember and work into our daily lives without much effort. Some would say the tips you will see here in this presentation are mainly common sense. So hopefully this is something that you all are already applying. Okay? All right, some more safety tips. So it is pretty much impossible to cover all safety tips, but here are some ways to maintain a safe environment. Keep important phone numbers in your cell phone or in common areas such as the fridge, and include the following. If you don't already have this, it's good to have police, fire, EMS phone numbers on the fridge, poison control, your primary care physician, emergency notification, ICE, that means in case of emergencies, the person to contact. It's good for us also to have that information, God forbid, if there's ever a incident where we need to contact anyone for whatever reason it may be. Let trusted neighbors or local police know when you will be away from the home for extended periods of time. So if you're going away on vacation, it's good for you to tell your neighbor and also to let the police department know so that we can also do extra patrols in the area, especially past your house. Pay attention to the surroundings at your home and in the public. So if you see anything suspicious, always notify the police immediately. Don't answer your door if you don't trust the person, so you don't have to answer the door for anyone. All right, I'm just telling you that right now. How many of you guys actually have like Ring doorbell or like a camera system at your house? Awesome. Do you guys actually, do you guys have like a phone and maybe like an alert will go off? If you have a Ring doorbell camera system on your phone, that actually lets you know like who's at your door and you actually can see them. Sometimes when I see someone from my phone, I'm like, I'm not answering the door for this person. I don't know who this person is, so I don't even answer the door. I just let them leave whatever they got to leave by my door, and I'll check it later. But if you do see anything suspicious, please call us, 911, non-emergency number as well. All right, it's important to always lock your doors. That could be cars and your home. And even when you're home, even by yourself or if your family's there, how many of you guys actually do lock your windows? Okay, smart, good. Especially your screen doors. Let's say you leave your screen door open and your front door, you leave your front door open, but your screen door is just the only thing that's blocking. Make sure you keep that locked, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out there who will still attempt to try to get in your house. Trust me, I've seen it. Make sure your locks are easy to use in case you need to get out in an emergency. So that's always important as well. Make sure you know your locking system. Ensure your exterior lights are working properly, especially with the light. You want to make sure that you have a well-lit front driveway in the front of your house. All right? And that's a good deterrent as well if there's some suspicious people who are lingering in front of your property and they shouldn't be there. Always keep your yard nice and tidy so that you can see your property and also that the police can see your property from the street. All right, it doesn't really help if you have a lot of shrubs and things like that, and especially at nighttime, because then sometimes we have a hard time seeing what's going on at your house. So if you have a nice tidy yard, perfect, works for us. If you guys have a first aid kit, that's wonderful. You could keep one in your house, keep one in your car. Always keep a list of medications that you take and a copy of phone numbers at home. And that is if you're transporting anything in your vehicle. Just always good information just to have with you. Keep your alarm systems and home surveillance systems operational and in good working order. So that means make sure your batteries are fully charged and just periodically check to ensure the system is operating as intended. So that's important as well. Just always make sure you have good batteries inside your cameras. All right, let's talk about an example of security. Common items, methods used to improve security. Remember, tools and methods are the best when easy to use and operate. So if you have a good locking mechanism, just make sure it's easy to utilize. Door locks, simple deadbolts are the best with solid frames. If you don't have a key that turns on both sides, interior needs to be a knob. So it's just not good to have a key for both ends. All right, so one end, primarily where you're at, just have a knob. All right, some more examples of security. So exterior light is a great deterrent. How many of you guys actually can control your front lights of your house? Awesome. Do you guys think it is a great deterrent, even if you have like a motion light? Yeah. You know, you might have critters in your front yard or just people who shouldn't be there at night lingering around, or maybe the town drunk. You never know who it is. But it's always good to have good home surveillance and always just making sure your house is safe. So more lighting, I prefer. It's always safer, and it's, you know, it's just better. You're better off with more light than none. So because you never know, this might actually happen. You might get like an alien or something on your cameras. Or it might be Bob next door who ran out of the house again with no clothes on. You never know. So that's why it's always good to have, you know, a good camera system so you can always see what's going on at night and to make sure that you're safe. So, but you never know. Never know what you may face. Okay. So it is always important to remember that security tools are first and foremost a deterrent. So if someone wants to steal your car, they'll definitely find a way to steal it. But we got to be careful with our key fobs. How many of you have key fobs? All right, so I see a majority in the room have key fobs. Now, do you leave them in the house with you at night, or do you leave them in your vehicles? Okay, good, because what could happen if you leave a key fob inside your vehicle, even if the doors are locked? Yeah. You have no idea how many times I've been to a house for the same report maybe twice or 3 times because they left their key fob inside their car. I can't fix that. I don't know what to tell you at this point. So, I mean, criminals know. They know how to get inside vehicles. So it is super important for everyone to, if you have a key fob, don't leave it in your vehicle. Please take it inside with you because these criminals will be looking for that. It's easy access, and they know what they're doing, and they know what they're looking for. So we got to outsmart these criminals. So please do not leave any key fobs in your vehicle. All right, so it says the National Insurance Crime Bureau studied thefts of motor vehicles in 2021. There were over 100,000 thefts facilitated by key fobs left in their vehicles that were stolen. So the accounts for 11% of all motor vehicle thefts reported in the United States. That's a pretty big number there. So I think a lot of New Lenox residents and other residents in the areas near us are doing a little bit better with that because maybe it has happened to them and they don't want it to happen again. So we kind of just learned from that. So that's why it's just really important just to keep everything locked. Okay, and don't leave your key fobs in the car. All right, a lot of us are pretty familiar with phishing, right? We're just going to kind of briefly talk about this. All right, so phishing means that is emails that are made to look real, as maybe a logo, same coloring, like let's say you have a Chase bank account, all right? There's people who could phish that and get your information easily. That could be your bank, eBay, PayPal, Amazon, maybe even like an email that you had with a friend. You never know. People get creative and they have ways to, you know, make things look real when they're actually indeed fake. So for example, someone sends you an email and pretends to be from your bank. All right, asks you for your bank information, account numbers, as your account has been compromised. Your account has been suspended, or you need to update your account information. Do you think that is typically normal for a bank to do that?
No.
Via email?
No.
Correct. Your banks would never ask this information over the internet. They would actually only provide this information with you inside the bank, okay? So anytime you receive an email or a text that says, hey, we need you to update your bank information, here's how, do it now through text or email, delete, block, report, whatever you have to do, because that's typically not what banks do. That's a safety issue, and that's somebody who is trying to hack your information. All right, for instance, here's an example. Your Bank of America account has been locked. There are a number of invalid login attempts on your account. We had to believe that there might be some security problems on your account, so we have decided to put an extra verification process to ensure your identity and account security. Please click here to continue the verification process and to ensure your account security. So as you can see, it doesn't even state your name anywhere. Is there anybody addressed to this on this letter? Excuse me, on this letter, is anyone addressed? No, right? It just says there are a number of invalid login attempts. It doesn't say like, good afternoon, Kristine Kioltyka. There are a number of invalid login attempts on your account, right? You don't see that anywhere on here. So that's kind of when you already know that it's already fraudulent. So just keep an eye out for that. And let's cover the 5 ways to tell if an email is spam. So number 1, if it ends up in your spam or junk folder, all right? It shouldn't ever end up there if it's legit. It would never go to your spam folder. All right, but there are people, unfortunately, that just don't know this information. They'll go through their spam and actually attempt to go through the prompts and fill in information, and now they get hacked. So got to be very careful with that. Number 2, look at the email address, the URLs. So as you can see here, legitimate companies sent emails through a server based off of their company website. For example, support@microsoft.com. Now, if you have anybody that says like 50cent123, you might, that's coming from Bank of America, you might want to check that, you know, because if it's not coming directly from the source of like Bank of America, then that's when you know it's fraud, and you might want to take that information to the bank just to verify, and they will completely get you set up with the process of how to go through what you need to go through in case somebody is trying to fraud you. So always look at the content. You might always see misspellings. Criminals are not that smart, you know, so they think they know how to spell and they don't. So look for typos. Just be watchful for that. Number 4. If they ask for your personal information, you know, first name, last name, gender, birth date, zip code, email address, and password, that is a big red flag. Stay away from that. That's a big no-no. You don't want to give any of your information away in a bank site or any kind of site requesting this kind of information. So just don't even put your information out there. All right, look at the greeting. When you receive a genuine email, the send addresses you directly use, the send addresses you directly use either your first or last name. So if you receive an email where they refer to you as a valued customer or a member of some company, it is spam. Kind of like I mentioned earlier, they want to address you by your first and last name, and if they don't, then you gotta, you know, kind of reconsider if this is spam or not, which most likely it is. So just be careful of that. The dear valued customer, again, that is one way to be scammed. You always want to look for the titles and everything too and make sure it's legit from that company, because if you look twice, sometimes they don't add up. All right, so this message looks suspicious in our smart screen filters and we'll delete after 10 days. So Western Union, if you can see, what do you think? Is this legit or not? It's asking you to reconfirm some more information in order to complete this transfer. Full name, address, phone number, occupation, and age. Right? Yeah, that's a big no-no. As you can see, dear customer, right? It's not addressing you by your first name. There is an issue in the amount of $5 million directed to credited to file whatever at the owner of this email address. The International Monetary Fund contacted us for your compensation a couple of hours ago due to your allocated security code. So they're asking you for all this information. They might give you a time frame that you need to respond, but you could just tell that this is just you know, made up. Look at the bottom here. You know, you just got to double check everything. Yeah, you just really got to double check everything. All right, here's a fake PayPal. Dear PayPal member, we were unable to process your most recent payment. Did you recently change your bank or phone number or credit card? Please update your billing information today by clicking an update. After a few clicks, just verify information just to verify the information you entered is correct. So that's asking you to update your personal information. Again, if you ever get these emails and they're not specifically addressed to you, just call that company right away. Or you could just go inside. You know, go to the facility and talk to a representative just to make sure everything's adding up. All right, here's from Chase. This one's also another fraudulent one. So it says, a funds transfer transaction from your Chase bank account to a checking or savings account number ending in 0947 for $450 has been submitted for processing. Please log on to your account from here by following this link. So again, the link. Banks don't ever require you to do that. To review your account information and reply to this message. If you need further assistance, please contact Chase at chase.com. But again, this is fraudulent. This is something we have to be wary of. So banks don't ever ask you for information through email. See, they might even pop up a fake screen like this, and they might be able to hack in your user ID and password. So if you use that, then now it's information that they have. So we have to be careful. Here's another good one. Here's Amazon Notice. Amazon will have your email address. They're not just going to do a no reply. So we got to watch out for these as well. I'm just trying to see if there's any typos in this one. But, oh yeah, here we go. Demanding information for your payment. Please update before 24 hours or your account will be permanently locked. Nobody will ever send you that in the subject line, okay? Unless they're criminals and they're trying to hack your information. That's the only time that I know then that they're trying to obtain your information. Again, it's not addressed to your first and last name. It's customer Amazon. All right. Here's another one. Amazon Prime update, December 2020. Due to a large number of accounts coming, let's see here. Service, we request the customers. As you can see, especially here, let me see where it says it. That customer is right here. That customers, there's no space. You got to really read it and look for grammatical errors or punctuations. You got to be very wary of that information. Update account information here. If you ever receive these, which you probably all have, I have, always just call Amazon just to double check. They might tell you, no, that's fraud, don't even answer it. You know, that we don't need your information, everything's already updated. You're all good. All right, so what is a scam? Can someone tell me what they think a scam is? Someone trying to get money from you, right? Or information, right? And we all know kind of what a scam is. Enter to win, congratulations, you just won a free cruise to the Bahamas, all paid for, you know? Yeah, not true. Okay, so scams that we are going to cover: IRS, texting, computers, like computer hackers, major utilities, spoofing, mail bank letters, emails, bail bond, and phishing. Yep, phishing. Yep, remember that was the one over email, and they ask for certain information, and it could be like a fake PayPal account, Amazon account, and then they send you to a fake login, and that's how they retrieve all your information. Yeah. So IRS scams, has anyone ever been a victim of this? Or almost have been a victim of this? Yeah, it happens to us all. So this is something too we got to be careful with. An IRS scam is when someone contacts you pretending to be from the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. They falsely say that you owe taxes and must pay them immediately or face serious penalties, and they might say you might even face jail time. All right, yeah, definitely that's a scam. IRS will always send you a bill through U.S. Postal Service to first let you know if you owe any taxes, offer you the opportunity to question or appeal the amount of taxes you owe, instruct you to make payments to the United States Treasury. All right, so scammers, what they're going to do, they're going to call and demand immediate payment by a prepaid debit card, gift card, or wire transfer. They might have a very different accent, all right? Might not sound like from anyone around here. Threaten to bring in local police or law enforcement groups to have you arrested or deported for not paying, and they're going to be very on you, like very pressuring and having you on the spot to do something about it. Demand payment without giving you the opportunity to question or to appeal the amount they say you owe. They're just going to demand this is what you owe and that's it. Contact taxpayers by email, text message, through social media to request personal or financial information, such as PINs, passwords, credit card, or bank information. Okay, so scammers, very demanding, very pushy. IRS will never do that. They will go over and they will repeal your taxes. If you guys have a phone and if you need to take a picture, here's some IRS numbers in case you guys need it, or if you wanted to write this down. This is just good to have in case you ever need to report to the IRS. This is the IRS hotline, IRS scams into the Treasury. And if you get an email from someone claiming to be from the IRS, don't open it. If anything, they even give you an email that you could forward it to and they can investigate it. Just have people write this down really quick. Guys, good to proceed? Okay, perfect. All right, let's talk about fraud. That's the intentional use of deceit, a trick, or someone having dishonest means to deprive another of his or her money, property, or legal right. Has anyone ever been a victim of this? Okay, good. I'm glad nobody has. All right, elder fraud. Each year, millions of elderly Americans fall victim to some types of financial fraud. Seniors are often targeted because they tend to be trusting and polite. Seniors are often have financial savings, own a home, and have good credit. Seniors may be less inclined to report fraud because they don't know how it occurred, or maybe they just feel embarrassed that they have been scammed. With the elderly population growing and seniors incurring more than $3 billion in losses annually, elder fraud is likely a growing problem. Do you guys think that's true? Yes, because unfortunately, some of our senior population fall vulnerable to the people they talk to, and these people really know how to talk and make you feel like you're someone special, and then they start to gain your trust, and unfortunately they gain your trust in the wrong reasons. All right, some common elder fraud, romance scam. Has anyone ever heard of this one before? Yes. All right, that's when criminals pose as an interested romantic partner. They might be, skimming through Facebook accounts, noticing if you are widowed, maybe on the elderly side, like from the elderly population. So they, over social media, over the phone or dating websites, just trying to find companions. So U.S. victims over 60 in 2020 accounted for over 281 million in romance scams, and it's a growing problem. Unfortunately, it is. So a new love friend who lives far away asks for you to wire them money or share your credit card number with them. Even if they say they're going to pay you back, don't do it. Sign a document that you will give them control of your finances or your house. So they will sweep you under your feet, make you sign a contract. So now guess what? They have all your information and you're going to be left with nothing. All your money, all your account information. So then they're going to ask you for your bank and credit card accounts. It's really sad. Anytime you see that, that's like a huge red flag. All right, the sweetheart scams. Love is blind. Target the elderly, widowed population, social media platforms. That could be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever applications people might have. They might serenade individuals over the phone to sweep them off their feet with emotional intelligence. These people know what they're doing, and they know how to catch somebody at their most vulnerable point in their life. They promise that they will fly to spend time with this person. They ask for money, large sums such as $2,000 plus, and promise to pay back their intended lover back, but they don't plan to do so. They just plan just to take your money and that's it. All right, so some common elder fraud.
I'd like to make just a comment about
Yeah.
that. I was watching TV, it was last year, and there was a lawyer who was on. That happened to her. She's not a smart woman.
Yeah, that's how smart they are.
Yeah, she said after a long time, she sent him money. She said, I have to tell you, over $1 million. Okay?
Wow.
He finally said to her, you know something? I really care for you. I really do, but I'm just telling you, I am a scammer, and I can't do this to you any longer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know, they have like Netflix shows of people like that. My God.
So, yeah.
Well, you know, it's really sad, and hopefully she's able to regain some financial gain, well, financial money back, but
I'm a smart woman,
yeah.
you know, and I got, you know, scammed.
Well, the emotional intelligence
Yeah.
caught her at the weakest point, right?
Yep.
So they know what they're doing.
Yep.
All right, so tech support scam. Criminals pose as technology support representatives and offer to fix non-existent computer issues. The scammers gain remote access to victims' devices and sensitive information. So as you can see here, you might have a laptop, this might have happened to you, where you're gonna get like a warning that just automatically pops up and it says, hey, your computer might be at risk and it may lock your laptop and you have to call this number, but what you need to do is not call that number and just turn it off and restart your computer, because again, that could be a scam. Most likely it's a scam, unless you have a computer protected virus program that would catch it and just eliminate that issue. Yeah.
The movie The Beekeeper is about this.
Really?
And if you haven't seen it, it's really a good movie.
The Beekeeper?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I have never seen it. It's a good movie.
Yeah. And, I mean, it scammed the lady so bad that she killed herself.
Oh, it's horrible. There's a few Netflix shows out there. I'm trying to think of one like the Tinder Swindler. There's one like that. And then I recently saw this doctor who was like a throat doctor. He was making these plastic pieces, and he was scamming a few people. And I can't remember what it was called, but it's a really good documentary. It's a must watch. So it's a doctor who is making these fake plastic throat pieces for people, and it actually doesn't do anything for you over time. Like, it collapses and then people suffocate, and it's just horrible. But he's able to swindle all these ladies into having romantic partners and believing that they're going to have this fairy tale life, and it's not exactly at all what it's cracked up to be. It's a mess. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are frauds out there, so we just need to be very careful. Did you guys ever hear of the grandparent bail bond before?
Oh, yeah.
This is something that we have to be careful with. This actually happened at our police department too.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I laughed. And I said, who is this? And they said, my grandson. And she recognized me. Finally, I told them, I said, my grandson's 2 years old.
Oh, well, good.
He was.
Good. What did you do after that? Good. Block the number. Don't even talk to them. All right, so criminals, what they will do is pose as a relative, usually as a child, grandchild, claiming to be in immediate financial need. Could be they've been arrested, you know, I need help, I don't want to call my parents, it's too late at night. But again, don't panic. Just what I'm about to tell you though, just this is what you do. Don't send any money unless you're sure it's the real person who did contact you. Fact check, so hang up on that person and actually call your relative that they're claiming to be and see if they're really in need. If not, that's when you know for sure that somebody was just trying to scam you and get money from you. So just be careful. You could always call a different friend or relative and just double check that way. So what these scammers might do is try to get a gift card out of you. But for real, if somebody's getting locked, like if somebody's, you know, being processed in jail, we don't take gift cards. We take debit cards and cash, you know? So there's no way we're going to need gift cards. So that's a major red flag right there. But the law has changed, so you don't really need any of that. All right, so let's talk about Snapchat. We have a lot of issues in the local communities with Snapchat, and this could be for people who are young to adults. So Snapchat is a common trend of scams surfacing at local police departments. So it's happening in New Lenox, Frankfort, Mokina, Will County. If you add someone that you don't know on Snapchat, it's possible it could be a scam. And again, many of you probably don't even have Snapchat in here, but for the grandparents or people who do, that's something we need to be careful with. There's people who will quick add you and they will start to like serenade you and make you feel comfortable to where you build a good trusting relationship with this person, and they might ask you to do something that you shouldn't be doing, which is sending some inappropriate images of yourself. So if you do this, then you'll send a photo of yourself and it could be your body parts, right? And then immediately they'll just let you know, hey, I'm gonna send this to everybody now. I'm sending this to your coworkers. I'm sending this to your relatives. I'm sending this to your community members. If I'm gonna give you up to 2 hours to send me $2,000, and if you don't, I'm gonna blast this to everybody. Unfortunately, this happens a lot. So I've seen a lot of reports coming in, especially like young teens. They're talking to people online that they shouldn't be talking to, and they will send an inappropriate photo of themselves, and it's in the wrong hands of somebody else, and they could do whatever they want with that photo, and they're demanding money, like $2,000, and these young kids have to ask tell their parents, I did something that I shouldn't have done, and now I have somebody who has first a picture of me, and now they're demanding money. You know, so that's a bad situation to be in, right? Because now you're exposing yourself. Now it's going to be out there for everyone to see. So as you can see, as this text reads, I sent you the pic, and this other person that they've been talking to says, I will send this to your friends unless you pay me $500. Answer me. And they're going to be pretty animate. They're going to be you know, asking for this in a very short time frame, and they're going to be pressuring you to do it very fast. So you might say like, hey, what? Don't do that. I don't have the money. How much can you pay? Pay me now. Like very demanding. All right. And then they might even say, hello, let's get straight to the point. I know your passwords. I can see through your camera. I know the websites you visit. What would your friends and family think? Realistically, they can't. They can't see through your own camera. I can release this info with a click of a button unless we agree on a deal. I've seen your photos on social media. Send some for my eyes only within the next 2 days, and your secrets are safe with me. I'm waiting. But on the flip side, they might have already gained your information if you shared like your account numbers, your phone information. Now they might actually have control over all your information, so you got to be cautious and be careful. Whoop. Okay, so how to avoid sextortion from Snapchat, because that is what that is, especially with young teens. They're getting sextorted and they're missing school because they have the pressure of, oh my God, I have to keep sending photos now because I don't want my parents to find out, and I don't have $2,000, and they feel like they're jailed with this person they're talking to. So there's no means of getting out. But some do crack, and they do tell their parents, and then they come right to the police department, and we start investigating. All right, so the person does not have, let's say you're talking to somebody on Snapchat, and say you're the victim, and you're sending photos of yourself. This is when you know to avoid somebody. First of all, we should not be sending inappropriate photos to anyone. But the person that you're going to be talking to, you'll be doing all the work. You'll be sending pictures. You'll be doing all that. The person that you're talking to that's bad will say, oh, my camera doesn't work, you know, so I can't send you any photos. Come on now. This day and age with technology, there's all sorts of things out there that can take a picture. So fast-paced contact, very demanding, very quickly. Use of fear. The person you're talking to uses fear tactics in attempts to make you pay money. Low number of pictures. So let's say you see them, you know, on Snapchat, and you can tell on Snapchat how many friends they have or how active they are. You see there's a low number of friends, or even let's say if you're friends on Facebook or something with them, low number of friends, and then barely any profile pictures. Those are red flags to look out for. So this is red flag city. So just be careful with that. No friends, no pictures, no mutual friends, even on Snapchat, and that their camera doesn't work, stay away. Don't even talk to them, block and report. So pretty much what I just said, what to do. Cease contact, block the person. Do not respond. Report to local law enforcement so that we can stop this person. Collect evidence and documents. Beware of expensive cyber recovery scams. because that does happen. So consider deactivating your social media accounts as well. But if you can, document, screenshot everything so that you can report it to the police, because the more you have, the better off we'll be. All right, mail scams. Has anyone seen that before? Like where you won a free cruise, or here's a check for $250,000. Cash it now. The only thing you got to pay for are the taxes. You know, so yeah, unfortunately that does happen, as you can see. You have just won $1,398. And U.S. Airlines. Huh, never seen an airline pay me before. All right, so when you know it's illegal, it's foreign lottery scams. So it is illegal. So federal statute Title 18 of the U.S. Code Section 1302 prohibits mailing payments to purchase any ticket, share, or chance in a foreign lottery, such as this. Kind of what you see. That could be, you know, paying for a free trip for you, airline ticket, wherever it's listed on that check that you get through the mail. All right, but it looks real. So scammers will use your information and pretty much gain your bank account information through this. So you have to be very careful with it. So the check will be returned to the scammer, and you have to be careful because now they have all your bank information, all right? Because there's people who actually do return it and put all their information on it. So scammers, what they'll do is they will usually send you a check for your partial winnings and ask you to cash it. Again, just to cover the taxes through wire transfer. In about 2 weeks, you'll get a notification that the check was bounced and you will be out of the money of the check, and your bank will charge you an NSF fee for the bounced check. So ultimately, you kind of just got scammed out of a lot of money. All right, plus some. So we got to be very careful with that. Doesn't really happen as much anymore, but it does. All right, key points. Contact business directly. So if you're getting a check in the mail, don't ever cash it in. Call first. Make sure it's legit. But I'm telling you right now, it's illegal, so it's not legit. In email, you know, just always make sure that you're checking the HTTPS. You know, when you're checking the URL, making sure that's matching up with the company that the email's coming from. Ask yourself, did you enter in a sweepstakes? Did you enter into something that maybe you did win? And actual message versus just number. So some things always to remember. Social Security scams. Has anyone been through this before? Okay, good. Unfortunately, we were getting a lot of reports of this. So it's scams involving your Social Security number and benefits benefits are on the rise. So here are the facts. Government employees will not threaten to take away benefits or ask for money, gift cards, or personal information to protect Social Security numbers or benefits. Scammers can fake your caller ID. So that's another thing. They fake the caller ID. So don't be fooled if the call seems to be from the SSA or the SSA Inspector General's fraud hotline number. So if the caller asks for your Social Security number, bank account number, or credit card information, that's when you know it's a scam. Just hang up. All right, and again, at the bottom, it just says if you need to report anything, there's the website. But you always could find it too if you just type in Social Security reporting, report for scams. Some email addresses will pop up for you. Texting scams. Oh man, I get some of these. So scammers will send fake text messages and trick you into giving them your personal information. That could be your passwords, account numbers, Social Security numbers. Again, they'll have access to everything, so we have to be very cautious of that. All right, they might say, hey, you have won free prizes, gift cards, coupons, but they're not real. Offer you a low or no interest credit card, but there's really no deal and there's really no card coming in. Promise to help you pay off your student loans, but they won't. Scammers also send fake messages that say they have information about your account or transaction. They might say, hey, I've noticed that you have some suspicious activity on your account, but they don't. Claim that there's a problem with your information, but there isn't. Might send you a fake invoice and tell you to contact them if you don't authorize the purchase, but it's a scam. Send you a package delivery notification, but it's fake. There's a lot of scamming going out there. So here's some images of what a fake text could look like from a scammer. Do you guys ever receive anything like this once in a while? Yeah, right? I still receive them once in a while. I just block it, and I never respond back, because then somebody might have access to your information, so you have to be very careful with that. Even if you just respond. Look at, hello, mate. You know, not even addressing you by your first name. You know? See, that person just sent an N, you know, meaning no. But you just gotta be careful what you say on there, and people are gonna start being demanding, and they're gonna sweep you under your feet to make you believe them and think it's legit. But it's not legit. Congratulations, you won the lottery. Your friend Daniel wants to connect with you. Both of you can redeem the prize when you apply here. Click this link. And sometimes when you click the link, you don't even have to enter any information in. They already are gaining all your information just by clicking the link. So you need to be careful with that as well. So I would just say don't give your information out to anyone. Just call that company directly just to make sure that it's legit. All right, so yeah, all of that is just fake news. And let's just be smarter than those criminals out there. All right? And really, what are they trying to obtain here? They're trying to obtain your personal information, social security information, bank accounts, gift cards, money, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. Sometimes scammers will be like, hey, you know, can you go to Walmart, like in a romance scam, and be like, hey, can you buy me like $5,000 of iTunes gift cards? And these people are like, no problem, because they really think that they're going to come out and see them. It's such a shame, but they do it. All right, so how do they accomplish this? They'll keep you on the phone, isolate you from your family and friends. They will distract you, and they will make you think this is an emergency. So over the phone, this picture couldn't be more true. That's really what they look like. Not good intentions. Ruse burglary. Did anybody ever hear of a ruse burglary before? All right, let's be mindful of this. It's a major issue that we have. Bless you. So a subject is trying to gain entry into your residence by posing as a utility worker, contractor, or blacktops. You might say, hey, I noticed your blacktop looks like it needs to be redone and repaved. And you might have a crew of like 2 to 3 guys, and 2 will come to your front door while they're trying to distract you. Another crew member might be walking behind your door, or these crew members might gain access into your house and make you turn on a faucet just to distract you and you know, distract you with some noise, so that they also could be inside your room stealing your jewelry or whatever it is. So got to be careful, ruse burglars as well, because they do target the senior population, and they know exactly where to look for jewelry and stuff. So just be careful. They're always looking for anything they can. They might even take your pillowcase and start taking all your jewelry and look for any cash in your drawers. So just be very, very mindful of that. Don't trust anybody that comes to your house asking you for a service, like, hey, can I do your blacktop? You know, do you need some work done inside your house? I'm the right guy for you. I'm very cheap. You know, so just be careful with that. You need to look these people up and make sure they're legit. All right, so 6 tips to stay online, or stay safe online. Number 1, don't play online games. Just stay away from it. Number 2, if you do play with strangers, which you shouldn't, don't share your personal information. And I tell kids this too as well on the video game systems that they're on. So don't give them any of your account information. Don't send money to people you don't know. That's just something that we shouldn't do, right? And always do that sanity check. Maybe ask a buddy, ask a family member, hey, what I'm doing, does this sound right? Like, I just met this person online and they're asking for some information. Do you think I should do it? You know, always talk to someone about it first. And they might say, what are you doing? Absolutely not. You know, because sometimes you just don't know. Research your case. Always check the website, misspellings, text messages, demanding you to answer ASAP. 6, change your profile picture. Bless you. You can always change your profile picture to something you love, gardening, your family, you know, the ocean, your dog, but just try not to have just one solo picture of you, all right? That's how people try to scam you online. All right, personal safety tips: walk confidently, walk with your head up. Stay in well-lit areas. Always make sure you're checking your shoulders, that nobody's behind you trying to creep up on you. Shop with your friends and family. Safety is always better in numbers. Observe the behavior of people around you. You know, that's why I always keep my head on a swivel. Just, you never know what people are trying to do. Avoid sitting next to the door on public transportation, as somebody might try to reach in your bag and just take your personal items. You know, unfortunately, that does happen. Even when you're walking, if you're not keeping your, like checking around you, people could be pickpocketing, so we need to be careful with that. In your vehicle, remember to lock your vehicle doors. Please, always lock your doors. We have a lot of people who are always pulling on handles. Yes?
And you know what, lock it as soon as you get in.
Yes.
Don't wait to put it in gear for it to lock itself.
Correct, you're right.
When I get in the car, I hit lock.
So do I, even as a police officer, right away. I don't want no one coming up to me.
Yeah.
Even in my personal car, I do that right away.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like so much more safer.
Absolutely.
So always park in a well-lit area as well if you're going to travel at night. When shopping, put your packages in the trunk. Do not leave them on the front seat. Or if you're going into your house, don't leave like your laptop or anything that's high in value like in the front seat overnight, as people may walk by and happen to find it. They're going to break in and take it. So if you're going back in the store after shopping, just move your vehicle in a new spot too, because sometimes you never know if someone's watching you. I would hope not, but you just never know. Oops. So how to keep yourself safe? Don't answer any numbers that you don't know. Sometimes on our cell phones, they may pop up and say like a potential scam. Just don't even answer, just block it. So remember, caller ID spoofing exists. That does happen. Do not give any personal information over the phone. Ask bank or store associates questions. And again, if something doesn't seem right, go right to the source, go right to the company. If something doesn't seem right, you always can just call your local police department and ask for advice, or just let them know what's going on, and we could guide you along the way. Or if we need to make a report, we definitely would. So, all right. And then here's a few reporting numbers. If you guys have your phone, you want to take a picture, this is report identity, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. If someone's trying to take your identity, this is kind of the information we always provide to our community members. So when reporting a scam, regardless of dollar amount, include as many of the following details as possible. That is the names of the scammers and or company, date of contact, methods of communication, phone numbers, email addresses, mailing addresses, websites, or method of payment that this bad person is trying to get from you. Where you send funds, including wire transfers, prepaid cards, provide financial institution names, account names. So anything that you guys have, provide it to us. Because the more that you have, it's better off for us to investigate. Because again, there's just bad people out there trying to gain your information. So the more you have on them, bring to us. When to call the police? Please call us as soon as possible. All right, please don't wait like 6 months. Because then it's going to be harder for us to investigate. It's going to be harder for us to find this person. I would do it as soon as the crime occurs, and we would never make you feel like you made a mistake because if it was nothing, that's okay. At least you came to us and you did the right thing to make sure that you're safe. And if it wasn't anything, at least we can let you know, hey, at least you came here just to make sure, rather than it being too late and we can't do anything about it. So you can always call 911 and remain anonymous. If you don't want to report your name, if you're not feeling too confident about it, that is something you always can do. That's our non-emergency number. So if you ever need it, that's our non-emergency number. So what if someone comes to your door? All right, this could be just construction workers. Always ask yourself, was I expecting anyone today? Is there emergency in the residence that I'm not aware of? Do they have proper identification? Those are good questions to ask when somebody's coming to your door. If they're a solicitor, sometimes we do have solicitors who come to the police department. We make an ID, or we have them written down through the village of who's supposed to be in our community to go door to door. If they're not on that list, you need to report them to the police department. You just, how to tell if they are legit, we would give them proper identification. It would say like the Village of New Lenox. And always just check in with us just to make sure it's legit, that they're supposed to be in our community doing work, all right? And you always want to make sure that their vehicle matches, like their uniforms and stuff. So you want to make sure everything's checking out. So how to protect yourself? Don't let anyone in your residence, all right? Especially if you didn't expect anyone to come by. Always ask questions. It doesn't matter. You're keeping yourself safe. Confirm with local law enforcement if somebody's supposed to be like I said, in the area trying to sell work, or being seen as somebody who is, what's the word I'm looking for? I just lost my mind. a solicitor in town, so we always want to just confirm with our police department. You can always speak through the screen door as well. Remember, I said you can always lock your screen door. You don't have to open it. Ask specifics on what work needs to be completed or what is the problem. You know, don't have them say, hey, I want to check something in your house. You know, is it okay if I come in? If you don't have any information or if no reason for them being there, do not allow them in. You could always call the police department too and be like, hey, I just experienced this. This person just tried coming in my house and I don't know for what reason. You know, and especially if they don't have any ID or anything, then that's when you know it's really suspicious. You don't even have to step out of your residence. You could stay inside and don't answer the door for people that you weren't expecting. Or if you didn't receive any notice, you don't have to open the door for anyone. ComEd. Sometimes we do get calls like, hey, you know, I've ComEd at my house, you know, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they do show up. So ComEd will not come into your residence without an appointment. They're supposed to make an appointment though. And sometimes it's you know, it could be like the wife who's calling and the husband's the one who made the appointment and forgot to share the information with the wife. So sometimes it happens. But again, you always have to have an appointment, verify the contact. That's the number to, you know, verify with ComEd if we do have someone who does approach your door. And again, just make sure the vehicle and their uniform is matching out. Night Corps, same thing. They will only come to your door in case of emergency, all right? They only come if there's a scheduled appointment. They have a badge with their appropriate identification on there. Other gas services will not charge at market rate. So always make sure everything's adding up. Again, their vests or uniforms are matching up with the NICOR gas truck. And if you need the number, if NICOR is at your house and you didn't expect them to come by, you want to call that number just to verify. All right, takeaways. Remember, you don't have to open the door for anyone. It's your house. No one needs to come inside. If you did not initiate a contact, phone or email, do not provide personal information, all right? Just do not do it. If anyone asks you to pay utilizing a gift card, money transfer, Bitcoin, that's a scam. All right, do not pay people in gift cards or, you know, money transfers or anything like that. Just be careful. You can always call us, the police department, to determine if this worker is legitimate or if someone's trying to scam you. There's nothing wrong with calling just to do like a safety check, just to make sure you're good. Please call in suspicious incidents. Even if you didn't fall for a scam, someone else may. So let's just make sure we do the right thing and keep the community safer. And again, if you guys need to file any complaints, here's a few different email addresses to do so. I'll just let you guys, if you need to write anything down or take a picture, I'll just, you know, let you do so now. Awesome. These are good phone numbers and good email. Well, good emails to have in case of an emergency. We use some of them too. All right. Anyone have any questions? That's my contact information. Please feel free to call me or email me after today if there's something on your mind you didn't address with me today, or just any questions or concerns that you may have. All right, I know this was kind of a lengthy presentation. Thank you for bearing with me, but it's a lot of important information to share with you guys. So, all right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
TRIAD works to improve the quality of life for seniors by providing an opportunity for the exchange of information between public safety, social services, and seniors. There are no membership papers to fill out or fees to pay. Everyone is welcome to attend. Each month, we present a guest speaker on subjects that keep you informed and up to date on the latest scams, frauds, and other criminal activities. We also discuss safety issues, home preparedness, and staying healthy. TRIAD meets the fourth Thursday of every month. Contact the Lenox Police Department at 815-462-6100 for more information.